Igbos, are known as very entrepreneurial. There is no community you go to in all the 774 local governments in Nigeria that you will not find an Igbo man doing a business, running a shop. And it's not just running it alone. He has apprentices who are working under him, who will serve that apprenticeship, for 6 years, for 7 years, and at the end of the day, they stand on their own. In fact, it is interesting that even beyond reports, it is a subject of study in Harvard, Harvard University. The Igbo apprenticeship system.
It's the largest business incubator in the world.
In the world. There is one Professor Ndigbo Okeke who says, look, Harvard is looking at it, and there is a major report that is likely to come out at some point in the Harvard Business Review, about this framework. And it's a framework that can be emulated by other communities, by other, entrepreneurs around the world. Igbos are not just doing trading in Nigeria. They are trading across the world. They are trading, across West Africa, adopting the same framework that has become, a great model. And there are many prominent Nigerians, as we have seen in that report, who started from this economics level. However, there is a flip side to it. The flip side to it, in my view, has to do with the school enrollment figures. There was a time in this country we were worrying about boys' school enrollment figures from the Southeast, because there's no peg in terms of the age at which you join the Umune framework. So you now have a generation of young men from the southeastern part of Nigeria who very early will go to join a master and learn from that master. And then, after a few years, they stand on their own, they create their own wealth, they share prosperity, but at the end of the day, we now found that there was a boy-child education issue in the southeast of Nigeria, because the enrollment figures were going down. And the girl child in the southeast was, in terms of school enrollment, going up. But however, there's this big joke in Nigeria that, the man who has gone to Alaba and Aba to go and be an apprentice, he will now come out and marry a PhD holder and marry, a multiple graduate, and then say, well, I may not have gone to school, but I have money, but I've used my money to get my wife for MOSC. Okay, that's the only challenge there. But the bigger side of it is the values which came out of that. Values about communalism, values about loyalty, values about street wisdom, values about, learning how to survive and developing individual capacity in an informal system. And, we're not surprised that this is a major subject of study in business schools from Lagos to Harvard.
Yeah, but you made this point about the boy education issue, but I do wish that girls and women would be trained in this manner as well, because that entrepreneurial spirit is present in women as well. It's not the exclusive preserve of the male.
Very, very valid point made there, Tunde. We all know this. We cannot celebrate it enough. It's a good model for all of us. And it's something we should all learn from. I think something that is quite instructive here is this. It dates way back. It goes back to the time of the Nnewi Youth League. And I keep talking about the Nnewi Youth League a lot. The Nnewi Youth League was set up by Ojuku's father and some other people out of Nnewi to be able to further a system like this that had been around even much earlier. So what they did was to create a scheme where young boys were given capital to be able to set up business after mentoring them and helping them go through the ladder. And like you said, Nigeria is replete with people that went through the system. The Chikasin, the Gabros, the Innocents of this world, all of them started as traders, and then they scaled up the ranks. And some of them have become multinationals and big businesses today. Secondly, another very instructive thing about this system is the fact that it gives shared empowerment. We keep talking about 33% unemployment rate in this country. We keep talking about a high level of poverty, but it gives shared empowerment across board. It is a system that when you go through it, you have a freedom ceremony, and the person gives you a seed capital. So it's pretty much like any other business. You go through a mentorship system, they give you a seed capital to set up, and also they give you credit capital, because obviously for every trading business, you need buyer's credit out there, and they set you up and they monitor you. And the good thing about it is the pass-on mechanism, the fact that you have to pass it on to other people and help them grow. And that's why you can see we can build a great chain of wealth, and it's rife in the eastern part of the country. I mean, unemployment rate in places like Anambra, you see, is low. Why? Because of entrepreneurship systems like this. If a lot of Igbo people lost their money after the Civil War, and this system has been able to help bridge a gap, it just shows you that there's a method to the madness of money, and entrepreneurship and apprenticeship is the way to go. Dr. Abati, I love university education, but I don't believe in it. I believe in apprenticeship system for a lot of young people to be able to help them get up the ladder. Yeah, you can get a university degree, yeah, but apprenticeship system too is also important.